What's up, everybody? This is Zach with the Nerd Cave, and today we're going to be talking and watching some gameplay from Jedi Fallen Order. I know that they put out during E3, they talked about at the EA Play with all of this, but they put out more of the gameplay and everything, so I thought it'd be cool to just sit back, watch it, talk about how some of the differences, some of the things that they're showing us compared to what they showed us at E3 and everything. So let's just jump into it. So here we go. All right, so we got the loading screen, which looks dope. Alpha gameplay footage. We saw a little bit of this. During E3, like they showed a little bit of this, like highlight reel and everything. I think we're at Kashyyyk. We've got some. I don't know why the AT-ATs look like they've been there forever, but they look old, especially this one right here. It's got stuff all over it. You know, it's a forest and everything, so I might be walking through it. Like, there's a lot more water than I thought was on Kashyyyk, but I guess like episode 3, like we saw a lot of that. For alpha footage, like the game looks pretty good. I like that the ripples are being made in the water and everything. The only thing that I've like seen that I'm hoping looks better as it goes is like the facial like animations and everything. Like the character models look a little weak. Everything else looks okay. Like I know it'll be more polished as it goes. I'm gonna climb it up the AT-AT and everything. Like we didn't see any of this. We see like I guess Wookiees, like they're using some like clone tech and everything. I think this is like fairly close to, you know, the whole Empire coming about. Like, you know, it's not completely like it's been established for a ton of time and everything. Yeah, this thing's got like junk all over it, and I'm curious, like, did it fall down, like going through some stuff? Yeah, like we got like a transport right there from the Clone Wars. Now, I think this is pretty cool, like getting to see like the inside of it. Like we've seen it in like different games and everything, but like just how big an AT-AT actually is. And the speeder bike is dope. It's dope. Sneaking around. Huh. Okay. So we got scout troopers, stormtroopers in here. You can see that their world's getting rocked. Now, one thing that like that I'm seeing is like some more focus on like the heavier attacks, because they don't really show that until a little bit later on in the gameplay video and everything. You know, showing the environment, I like that. Like seeing that has been battle damaged. You know, again, getting to see more of like what these big things are. That's cool. I'm glad that they're using the droid as like an interactive thing, like to distract people and everything, the interactive environment. And you get to pilot an AT-AT. Like that's you're in violation. That's a throwback clearly to Han Solo, like the trash, right before the trash compactor in Episode 4. But you get to control the AT-AT. That's really cool. You know, like it's not the first time we've gotten to do it, but it's definitely like this game. You can feel like how big this thing is. Like the design of the AT-AT like control and everything. Why is the droid like kicking the console? And then we've got Forrest Whitaker's character, which I don't remember his name. Okay. Like the amount of like things that are going on is pretty impressive. Like seeing like all of the vehicles, all the fire and all of that. Like you can see like where the game can go, especially like the bigger moments and everything. That was a lot of troopers right there. Like these are this is like a cool little experience. Like I'm sure you won't like get to do this a ton. It definitely looks better than the AT-AT mission that you got to do in Battlefront 2, which was just awful. Like it was just bleh, in the game. All right. Now, this ship should have way more armor than this AT-AT. At this point, like when we got it, it was like 76% hull damage. So this ship should be like just decimating this thing. It looks like it's getting the short end of the stick, though. You know, got kicking in the Star Wars music that we know. I'm curious to see like how much new music we're gonna see in the game, because like it's one thing like getting the same like music over and over, but like having like fresh takes on it is always a positive thing. That's one thing that I really enjoyed about Knights of the SWTOR, Star Wars The Old Republic, is like they actually had some really good original music. I'm curious to see like the relationship between him and the droid. He just saved everybody's butt. Saul Guerrero, that's what his name. See what I mean? Like the facial, like especially with him and the main character, it just looks really soft. Like it doesn't look like that good, to my opinion. So we got this ship coming in. Now Tarful, like I remember, like playing Republic Commando and like getting to have like Tarful like in missions and everything. Like he was really, really cool. I'm just gonna show you a lightsaber, and that makes me a Jedi. I wonder if Forrest Whitaker actually like came back and to do his voice and everything, because like it sounds like him, but it doesn't completely. Like I don't know what the alien is, what his name is. Like he looks better than like the human characters, like faces and everything. You know, again, it's alpha footage, so hopefully we'll get to see a little bit more. And apparently these are like your companions and everything. So yeah, we've got skill points. You know, we're going to be able to like upgrade our character. I'm assuming it's going to be more like RPG. Like you get to choose like what you want your skills to be and everything. All right. We got some galaxy map here. Okay. Not showing that there's more to the game, but not everything. So you got a ship. I like that. That's one of my favorite parts of like the KOTOR series, was like spending time on the Ebon Hawk and everything, like getting that experience, getting to know the crew and everything. Okay, so we got some some choices here. Now, what it seems to be though is not like you're getting like one or two sides. Like you're not really getting like super depth to it. That's what we're seeing right now. Like I'm glad that like you're having it's not just you. Like I enjoyed the Force Unleashed and everything, but it seemed like it was very like, bro, I'm fine. I almost got burned. But like the Force Unleashed felt very like you were this really powerful character, but like that's all you really got, and that was it. Like you didn't really get much after that. So I'm glad that there's like some companionship, and all of that. Okay. So like the droid, like we saw this in the E3 demo where like he can scan things, learn more about um the different things that we're seeing and everything, get more info and intel on it. I'm sure that's like a collectible type thing. Like you try to get as much scanned in the environment as possible to figure out what's going on. And like the holo map is pretty cool too. Like getting to see what is going on. Like it's an interactive way without like having to go into a menu and everything, which I'm fine with that. Like, what if that was the power couplings that you needed? And it's like, you just chopped it and like nobody, you can't get anything to work. You're just like, oh, okay. Well, clearly, yeah. You see webs, you got this big spider beast thing. Like, spiders in video games have always been like this weird thing. Like it's something that's been used all the time. But I remember playing Skyrim, always getting like this weird, like freaked out sense, like fighting these like spiders and everything. So I always use like fire. I'm just like, kill it with fire, kill it with fire. Like clearly they're a hefty opponent. Like, and we're seeing like heavier attacks. Like it feels like it's a different player, probably is. But like we're also it's seeing the tactical guide, highly intelligent, extremely aggressive. Like we're getting more information on the environment and everything through the droid. So like you get to upgrade your droid as well as the character, which I think that's a cool thing, that you're not just like stuck with whatever you get at the beginning. He's just awesome. So like I think EA's doing this, BD1 is doing this so it will show like there's more to it, because I know when I watched the gameplay from E3 and everything, it was like, is that it? Like the gameplay looked quite, and you use the droid to do zip lines. That's totally cool. But like it looked very basic. So I feel like they're trying to like show more. So you're like, okay, there's more to it than what we just seen and everything. But like showing the ship, showing that there, like there's more than just Kashyyyk and everything, and I'm sure there's going to be multiple worlds and all of that. But like the ship is a huge, like that's a really cool thing for me. So we're getting close to where the E3 demo happened. Okay, that was pretty cool. I know one thing that Disney came out and said about the game is there would not be like any like limb dismemberment or anything, because they're Disney, so they're not going to show any of that kind of stuff. I guess with like human characters or anything like that, which is some people are not happy with, but that is what it is. I'm fine with it. as long as the story's good and like they're not rushing to get this out. It's June right now, so that comes out in November. I think November 15th. So like I think they can make a good game out of it as long as the story's good. And having, you know, Respawn do it, I think it'll do really well. And Stig, he was the guy that was at over God of War 3, which is a really good game. So I know I'm talking all over all of this, but if you haven't seen this stuff, like we're getting into the stuff that it was shown at EA Play. But I'm curious to see like what else they're going to show, like further detailed and everything compared to what they've shown at EA, because they're not going to just put out a 20-minute gameplay trailer just to show the same thing over. Like we will probably see some different stuff. I thought this was interesting that he would use it as like a flashlight essentially, but like one thing that caught me right here was like he's going through this water and everything, but the lightsaber is not like tss, tss, like making like hissing noises. I know that's like little details and everything, but like that's kind of stuff. Like this breaks my heart. Like this like mechanization in Kashyyyk, this pollution and everything. This is like ugh. Okay, so we saw this like this glowing thing in the last one, but we didn't see all of it. Okay, so this is skill trees and I guess your saves as well. So like I'm wondering like how much you can develop. Like, is it your sword skills? Is it just force stuff? Is it like conversational? Like, I wonder how far the skill tree actually goes in the game, because if they do it well, like it could essentially change how the whole game is going to play. But like if it's just like very basic things, then I think it's going to be like the best skill trees that I've experienced is like the ones like in Skyrim. It's where it's like you cannot. Okay, all right, I like that. But it's the skill trees that you can't get everything because there's you want to focus on one thing. So like that kind of like forces you to go into one path. And I know some people are like, oh, I want to be a multi-class and all of that. And like, I'd rather be like, okay, you can have jack of all trades, master of none, or you can, focus on one thing and get really good at it. Like I want to be really good at sword play and like open up all of these different things. Like you can see like he's really focusing on, okay, I see the scout trooper hiding back here. All right. See that's different than what we saw during the E3 demo, which is cool. Like I'm glad that like the AI aren't just like programmed to do one thing. Like, hey, if I was one of them, I'd be like hiding back there to like get a little sneak attack. I think these are like dark troopers or whatever. It's interesting, like the helmet that he's wearing is one of the original designs for Darth Vader and everything. So that's pretty cool. Like the fight with them, like you can tell, like he understands how the Force could be used against him and everything. Now that was cool. That was different. But I hope they don't overdo those, because like it's like a very set skill set that this class has, these dark troopers or whatever they want to call them. So I just hope they do it well on that. Anything with this game, I want them to do well. I want them to be successful. I know EA gets a lot of hate, and I know I've definitely hated on EA a lot, but I want this game to be good because I want a good Star Wars game so bad, so bad. So we've got a lot of the same beats, jumping, slashing somebody with a lightsaber and everything. Nothing. I'm glad that they have like the different types of troopers here. Like that's a okay. So you see his you see his tank caught on fire and then blew up on him. Yeah, he got dispatched pretty quick. Pretty quick. So we got one of the cutters. Like I like all of this is, same kind of stuff. We just seeing a little bit of combat variation. I'm what I'm most excited to see is more of the story. I'm glad to see that we can travel to different worlds. I wonder if I highly doubt it. Like if you're in a mission, if you can just like up and leave, you can just up and leave. Like they if they work it into the story the right way, that's fine. Like I remember playing KOTOR 1, and when you go to the water planet, like you couldn't leave because like you got in like a legal trouble or whatever. So like as long as it's like weaved into the story, I don't mind that. I just hope that they do it the right way. There's a lot of flame troopers in there. And, of course, like they're taking a lot slower pace than, somebody that actually is playing would do it. Letting the flame troopers kind of take care of the big old spider lady. Trying to say spider daddies, but I said like legs at the same time. So that's smart. Like I would totally let the flame troopers like take care of it. That's a good idea of like, all right. I know I had seen that animation like in maybe the E3 or something like that, but it's still really cool. But like freezing, do that little time freeze thing, which they use a ton in the E3 demo. Okay. All right. We got you, bro. I just hope that there's enough variety, and it's like you don't have to use a certain skill all the time just to make something happen. Like, we're seeing this used in the environment a lot to get stuff done. And we're getting like scans and all of that, which I'm totally down for. Kill him, so that's cool. It's interesting. At least we have the high ground. But just like hearing the troopers, like they don't even want to really fight. It's interesting because like these are why did bro? Okay, so that was a different one where it was like he'd like jumped and leaped. Okay. But like these are supposed to be like highly trained and skilled soldiers. Like they're not supposed to be like, oh, they're coming. So there's another save point right there, and like we've seen this part right up here, fighting all of these. He's like, these guys are, whatever. I hope like they vary it up. Like clearly, same voice actor and everything. Like, not all of the stormtroopers talk and all of that, but they do have the same voice actor. Like, I don't understand why like he's throwing that guy to him. Now that's smart, where he can like finish taking out that guy. Like I would have healed up right then. Like, and he didn't even attack. Like what? It's like this right here. Like, can you abort that attack? Can you like dodge? Can you roll? Like, it's like if you're pulling that, is he always going to, you know? I don't know. It's a very interesting. He's got like one of the staffs that like Grievous's guards had and everything. So yeah, like him using the, like they were talking about on EA Play, like he can heal himself and everything, but like if you're doing that, you have to like do it at the right moment, especially in combat. Now that was cool. that was cool. But like you have to do it at the right time, or you're leaving yourself vulnerable and everything. So you know, I was very surprised that he like didn't heal up before then. So these aren't just like, these are to be believed like Wookiee, like guerrilla fighters and all of that. Not just like just Wookiees that they've captured. So they should know where, yeah, like they've got to do some work on the facial stuff. Like that looked like Chewbacca out of the trash compactor. Boom. Like, I'm curious to see how hard it is going to be to beat these droids. You know, and then we get kind of like this montage of them fighting and everything. The different troopers we're going to see. You know. All right, Jedi Fallen Order, and then they're going to give a time and all of that, a date. So, you know, we saw, 26 minutes. We saw, half of that, the same thing that we saw at E3 with, some different variations on attacks and all of that, which kind of makes me feel a little bit better about it. Seeing the AT-AT stuff, the stuff that was before that's totally new, where we kind of saw like a sizzle reel of that during E3 at one of the conferences, I think maybe Microsoft's. Like that makes me feel a little bit better. Like they've got time, they've got more time to put together something and polish it and clean it and everything. The biggest thing is the story. Is the story any good? The combat looks serviceable right now, and hopefully, with the development of the skill tree and everything, where you're being able to, put points into, your force powers or your persuasion or your swordsmanship. And I know I'm kind of going off on a limb. Like if you could do like the different types of sword play, because this kid's a Padawan. Like that's where we find him. That's where this whole thing starts. Is he's a Padawan. Order 66 happens and everything. So like we're getting more of a raw kind of Jedi here, where we're not getting someone that's being taught in the temple and everything. We're not getting somebody that's being trained by a master throughout his whole time. Like everything's kind of cut short, and like seeing his motivation is going to definitely help the story part of it. And we see that he has a friends and crew that's going to be along with the ride, going to see where he develops and everything and guide him. I'm curious, like the biggest things that I'm curious about are the traveling, the development in the gameplay with the skill tree, and the story, and where was the other one? I lost it. But those are the big three that I'm still very curious about. I know that they'll get the game looking better. That's one thing I will say. Battlefront 1 and 2 look gorgeous. Like they look really good. They're good looking games. DICE knows what they're doing on that side of things. This one feels like there's a little bit more heart in it. And I can't wait to see where it goes. I'd be curious to see what you think. You can tell me in the comments below. Are you excited for Jedi Fallen Order? Did this extra, like 13 minutes plus some, different gameplay, different choices sell you on it? Or are you still kind of, I don't know about it. let me know in the comments below, and we'll be doing more and more videos, more live streams. You can check all of that out here on the Nerd Cave channel. This has been Zach. Have a blessed week.